everyone, it's Jill with Angel Creations. Welcome to my craft room. Happy Saturday, everyone. Grab yourself a drink, a cold drink, or a cup of coffee. I have some sweet tea and some coffee, so I need a sip of this. I have a hoarse throat. I have swimmer's ear. And I don't know if it's all connected or what, but my throat is very scratchy, so please bear with me. So today we're going to make I'm going to call it a doorknob pillow. And I don't know if I'm making up that phrase, but you know, I see these a lot at Dollar General. In fact, that's the inspiration for today's craft. I don't know if you've ever noticed at the Dollar General, especially at the Dollar General in their home decor section, but I do see them in other stores too. But they're usually a little cloth pillow, and they have a little hanger so that you can hang it on a doorknob, I guess, or anywhere I guess you could hang them. But I like to just hang them from a doorknob. They make the cutest little accent, or the cutest, they just add a nice little touch to any little room where there's a doorknob in that room. So I thought we would use that for an inspiration today, and I'm gonna just use 2 of these Dollar Tree pot holders. You get 2 for the price of 1, so that's perfect. And the ones that I picked out say a cute, they have the bicycle. I'm taking the tag off. And it says, life is a beautiful ride. And sure is, right? We have to make it a beautiful ride. All right, so those are gonna go together. We're just gonna cut this loop off at the top. And then we're going to be using some of the pip berries from Dollar Tree. This is what they look like. I think this one came out in the fall, but they come out all year long. So as a matter of fact, my store in Dade City still has some hanging on end caps. So I'm going to be using some of those. Let me grab my trash barrel here. And I'm going to be using some of the Dollar Tree beads. I took some and painted some already, so I would not have to do that on camera. And the lawn man is coming, so please, I hope you can hear me, bear with me. And then I just have some leftover, these paper flowers came from the Dollar Tree. I think they're paper, they might be silk. And I don't think these came, they could have, but I don't know where these, I of course have a craft room full of stuff. Sometimes people give it to me. I pick things up in my travels, so I don't know where these came from, but any little embellishments you have at home will work. Even a little button would be adorable. And then of course we're going to need some jute to string up our beads. And so let's just get started. Let's cut off our little loop here at the top. Try not to cut the material underneath it. But if you do, you do. We'll hide the top anyway. So, okay. So we'll put those aside. I'm going to take these tags off just so that they're not in the way. Oh, I have to get my pillow stuffing. I forgot to bring some fiber fill. You can use Dollar Tree socks. You can even use Dollar Tree bags to stuff your pillow with, but let me just get some fiber fill out. So the first thing we are going to do is glue our pillow together. So we're going to sew both of the backings together, and we're going to leave a little opening at the top here, of course, to stuff our pillow. So let's make sure our glue gun is nice and hot, and I'm just following the seam. that is already here, and I don't have any special glue in my glue gun. It's not special fabric glue, it's just Dollar Tree glue stick. So I'm just going around the seam. Give my trigger a rest and start again. And that ought to, oh, you know what I did? I went all the way completely around. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take something like this little piece of clear plastic, and I'm going to stick it here just so that I don't glue the whole thing closed. Told you not to do it, and then I did it. Alright, so we're just going to press our seams. So by sticking something in the middle here, that's making so my glue doesn't glue the pillow together. I hope that made sense. You can stick a ruler or anything in there. And so now I have my hole at the top so that I can put my fiber fill in. And we don't need a lot. You just want to make it billow a little bit out, you know, just so that it looks like a pillow. And I like to take little bits and stuff mine and just stuff. Oh, I unsewed my corner. That's okay. That'll help me. We'll sew that back up with our glue in a minute. I like to work with little amounts because I just feel like I can manipulate the little amounts in my pillow to get the corners and things like that. So like I said, maybe one little bunch more. You don't need it to be stuffed, you know. Alright, that should be good. So let's take this plastic off. Glued that really good, so I'm just going to leave it there and cut it off. No one's going to know that it's even there. Glue it right over. Alright, so now that our pillow is stuffed, we're going to glue the rest of this up. Making sure that we don't have any of the fiber fill sticking out. You could sew these too. I mean, feel free to actually stitch these. That would last a lot longer, obviously. Alright, so I'm just holding that down. You probably can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just holding my seams down where I just glued it again. Making sure that it's all nice and glued shut. We have a cute little pillow. How cute. Not big and fluffed. You know, if you want to stuff it more, you can, of course. Okay, so now we get to do the embellishments. But before that, I think I want to string my... I have a tool to string my beads. Where is my tool? My bead my sister gave me. My sister was just here and we moved things. Okay, well, we're gonna do it without that. So all we need is, I'm gonna put mine in a little cup just to hold them. We need to make sure that, let me count these, 2, 4, 6, 8. So I have 8 painted, so I'm probably gonna only use 4 of those, because if I put 8 beads on total, I want some of them to be the natural wood. I want 4 natural, if that makes sense, and 4. I need a place to put these where they don't roll away. I need 4 of each, because when we hang it, there needs to be an even amount on both sides, because if you don't, you get that one bead and you can't hang it. I suppose a doorknob it would hang on though. Alright, so now we're going to hang our beads. And the way I like to make a little needle, if you will, is just put a little bit of glue on the bottom of your jute, and then just hold on a second and let it not be too hot, and then just twist it in your fingers. Twist it in your fingers, and it makes like a little, I have to always cut the tip, but it makes its own little needle. So I'm going to start with a green, and let's just cut this and make our knot at the other end. Then we'll leave about an inch tail of jute. That is what we might use to anchor it. Okay, so I started with a green, so now I'll do a natural, and then green, and vice versa. So we'll have 8 beads total. Well, this bead has another story. That one, it went through, but I thought it was going to give us a hard time. Alright. Does that make sense? You want to even them out. A lot of times in crafts or in flower arrangements, odd numbers are the rule. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just to make sure. And we're going to have 4 hanging on each side. So we will cut our, we'll knot our thread here. Just put a knot in the other end here. I'm going to do triple just because I don't want it to squish through the bead, because the hole in the bead is pretty good. The ones from the Dollar Tree have a pretty good hole in them. Alright, so now I'm going to just cut about an inch off of that. And there's our hanger. It's going to go on our pillow, but before we hang it on our pillow, I want to put some embellishments on it. So I have the pip berries in 2 colors. I think these came out at Easter, and they have like a pearl effect to them. They're very pretty. I'm going to put a couple of those, or a strand of those, on around the pillow. So I'm going to glue as I go. So I'm just going to put a little glue dot at the top and glue down my berries, and I'm going to hold that still. And I left a little berry hanging down so that we can give it a little curly cue. I'll show you, but I couldn't flip this because this is hanging onto my arm. Okay. So now I'm just going to go around and glue it right around my edges using the trim. I'm just gluing down, I don't know, every couple of little berries I'm gluing. Trying to get the cobwebbies off as I go. So here we are at the corner again, so I'll glue this one down a little below the corner this time. And I am going to put some raffia on this as well. I love my raffia. Alright, let's turn this corner. So I have to tell you, I have swimmer's ear, right? And, which is an ear infection. And, so I keep thinking of my sister because I was at the doctor's, I believe it was yesterday. And I said, I have, you know, this terrible earache going on. And, so I said, you know, I can feel, I think it's swimmer's ear because when I press on it right here, it really, really hurts. It's on this ear. And so anyways, he said, okay, so he looked in my ear, of course, and he said, yes, you have an ear infection. I'm going to give you some Augmentin, and that should clear it up nicely. So on my way I go, and I've just been laughing ever since. I don't know why I find it so funny. I do, because what is funny is my sister, of course, we're from New England. And when my sister first moved to Florida, she has since moved back to New Hampshire. But when she first moved to Florida, she had her New Hampshire accent, of course, and she got an ear infection and went to the doctors, and they said the same thing, you know, what are you here for, blah, blah, blah. And she said, I have a wicked swimmer's ear. So the doctor looked in her ear, and then he looked at her and he said, well, you have diagnosed yourself correctly. You have wicked swimmer's ear. Because of our accent. So I just have been thinking about that ever since, and I just had to tell you guys, it's just funny. You know, we don't hear our accent, but he heard it, and the way he heard her say wicked swimmer's ear, he heard wicked swimmer's ear. And that's exactly how we talk, and we're proud of it. All right, I'm just going to take a little pencil. I have a little piece sticking up here, if you can see it, and I'm just going to give it a little curl. Just give it a little curl, just like the vine would curl. And now we're going to do the same thing with the second one. I'm just going to put a little, though. I'm not going all the way around. I'm just going to put a little this time. With this one is green and white. So I think this will be good right here. And it's actually connected here. Like, what happens is they'll make this wire, and then in order for them to give you how many feet they say they're going to give you, 9 feet, they twist it together. So anyway, you'll see if you do it. So now I'm just going to lift these, and I'm going to just glue this one on. Right here. Right where they've connected the two pieces of wire. And then I'm going to go to the corner. Trying to clean this up a little bit. It's easier to clean up when as you go than it is to... Okay, so now, do I want to go to the corners and give it a twirl? Yeah, let's just go up. I don't have to go all the way to the corner, but very, very, very little tiny bit of glue. It's better to do tiny dots of glue more places than a big glob at this point, because you can see these berries. They're not that thick. I'm going to glue this one over here. Again, tiny bit of glue. You don't want to see all the glue. You never want to see all the glue. And then we're going to curl these with our pencil. Just start holding the wire at one end and twirl your pencil. And do the same with the other side. Even with the berries on it, it will twirl right around. So we have some little twirlies. And now we're going to put some raffia and a jute bow. So I'm just going to grab a few pieces of raffia here. That will do, just about that much. I'm going to try to fold it in half so I can double it. And then we are going to, I think I'll do it in layers. So let's just tie this one off. Tie it off with some jute to make a little bow. Just tying it off in the middle. I'm not even going to do a double knot because I don't want the bulk. And now I'm going to just cut my ends. Let's see, we want it to be the same. So I just have this. And now I'm going to take some jute and wrap it around like 3 of my fingers. Or 4, I got 4 fingers, just a few times. And cut it. And then we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to tie this in the middle. Get my fingers out. So we have the loop. I'm going to squeeze that and tie that in the middle. You can do this with a tie wrap. I like to do it with the tie wrap, but this way it will all blend in. And this one I am going to tie double because it will slip out a little bit. I don't want it to. Alright, and this one we're going to keep loops. Can you see our little loops? And I'm just going to cut that off their tails in the back. And I'm going to glue this jute bow on top of my raffia bow. With just a little dab of glue. And hold that down for just a moment. It's a shame we have this little berry sitting over here all by itself. Alright, so now we're going to put it up here on our, see where we have, oh, these strings. See where we have this showing still where we cut off our loops? Well, I'm going to trim that a little bit more actually, but we're trying to disguise that now. So we're going to put our bow up there, but we have a couple flowers to put on too. So I think I want my bow kind of on top of my flowers a little bit. So I'm going to take one of these big flowers, and the centers match the outside of the trim on our little pillow. So I'm going to stick that one right down here. And then I am going to stick this one next to it. Like I said, use any embellishments that you want. These just happen to go so nicely with the colors that were in this material that I thought we have to use them up. They're so cute. And then I'm going to put one. I don't like the, hold on. I don't like that this has bling in it. It's fine, but it's just not my taste. So I'm going to cover up that little bling. It's got like a little gemstone with one of these little flowers from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to just stick that right in the middle. And they do have stickies on them, but just in case they don't want to stay, I am gluing my fingers. Oh! There. The other one has a pearl, and the pearl is perfect because it accents the pearl in our little berries. So there we have that. And now we're going to add our bow to the top. And then we'll put our little hanger on. Just disguising the little cutoff. And then we have a crazy bow. We'll put these little tails down. There's one little crazy I want to cut off here. Alright, let's give it a little haircut. A little bit longer on this side. Pull up our little loops. Alright, so this is our little pillow so far. So cute. Alright, and all we have to do now is put our little hanger on. And we are definitely just going to accomplish that. Let me clean this all off on this side. We are going to hang it and glue it, and then we're going to put one of these flowers over it to hold it. You know how we do it like with popsicle sticks? So I'll show you. Just hold that down. I'm just doing it to the corner. And that little tiny inch that we left over is what I'm gluing at the moment. Right here on the back in the corner. And I'm using the knot as the top. It's resting. Cut these off, these little tags, but we're gonna put, our little jute thing, but we're gonna hide. It's not really hiding it, it's kind of giving it another thing to hold this little tiny jute cord in. You know how we do it with, my words aren't coming to me, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I often will glue the string, the jute on the back of a picture frame, and I will put a, I will put a popsicle stick to reinforce it. That's what we're doing. We're just giving it something to sandwich it between. And also, it gives it a nice little finish. Gluing myself to everything here. Alright, so now we will just glue this one down, and this project will be finished. My petals are sticking to the back of the little sticker that it comes on. I need that petal. Alright. Have you guys ever had anybody make fun of your accent? We don't hear our accent, you know. I still don't hear it. I get a lot of people ask me if I'm from England, but I'm not from England. I'm from New England, but not from England. But of course, I don't hear my accent. Okay, and there she is. There's the back. There's the front. And I think this was a cute Saturday craft. I know I enjoyed it. It's a great time to give me a thumbs up if you love this craft as much as I do, and as much as I did love making it with you. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We're at 246 subscribers. So getting so excited. Trying to get this glue off of me. So yeah, how cute is that? Love, love, love that. Just hanging on a doorknob. Life is a beautiful ride. Let's make it a beautiful ride together. Alright, if you guys want to make one of these, I would love to see it if you send me your pictures. I have a couple of subscribers that send me pictures of things they made. One of these days I'm going to make a little compilation, Anyway, we're going to put a whole bunch of those pictures together and show you guys all your things that you've made. It'll be fun to do a little video like that. I need a few more though, so if you decide to make this, let me know. Alright, everybody, have the best Saturday, the rest of your Saturday. And tomorrow is Sunday. I won't see you tomorrow, but I will see you Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye now. Be good and do good.